Well, good morning folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually out of the studio. Finally, the weather's calmed down a bit here in Britain, and I've actually got over my cold, which I had last week, if you noticed in last week's video. And yeah, good to get out. I'm here in Castle Eden Dene, which is near Peterlee in County Durham. And today I'm going to try and shoot some of the waterfalls and pools here in the Dene using the Panasonic FZ82. I've shot waterfalls before with my Nikon D3300, but as yet to try such a thing with the FZ82. We're going to try and use shutter priority mode in this shoot to try and capture some movement in the water, and possibly we'll have to use an ND filter along with the artistic nightscape mode on the camera. Here we are in the stream. What I'm going to try and do is to capture some motion in this water. Now normally when you would have taken a photograph of this just in auto, it will freeze the water. What we're going to try and do here is to use a slow shutter speed and capture some swirling motion in the water, make it nice and smooth. That's our aim. So if we look at the camera, we've got the camera set to shutter priority mode. What we're going to do is use the thumb wheel on the back of the camera, and that's going to either increase or decrease our shutter speed. So I'll put those shots on screen now of the various shutter speeds, and then we shall move on to another location and see if we can get some more shots there. So here at another location, another composition, I'm shooting across the water there, across these rocks, and trying to do some long exposure shots. I'm going to try that without any filters, just using the shutter. Then we're going to move on to a variable ND filter. Must admit, this is a cheap filter. I think it's an X-Source one. Didn't cost a lot of money off eBay, and I don't really get on with it very well. It's okay for filming, but not quite so good for still photography. I tend to find that it likes to create vignettes around the edge of your shot. And then finally we're moving on to a 10-stop filter, which is a pig iron filter. They're quite cheap to buy. I think that cost me about £10 on eBay. Quite a good filter. Unfortunately, sometimes 10 stops is way too long for a lot of photography with the FZ82, but I shall show you the shots as they have been taken. So we'll start with the unfiltered images. I will put all of the information about each shot as I always do, so you can see what camera settings I used, and then we'll move on to the shots with the variable ND filter, and then finally onto the 10-stop pig iron filter. So we're here at another location to shoot this little waterfall here. I'm going to put the name of the falls up on screen because I can't quite remember what it's called now. And yeah, we're going to do some long exposure shots. I'm going to try them initially again using shutter priority, using the camera at about a 4-second exposure, and see if we can make that water nice and creamy. If that doesn't work out, then it's time to pop on the ND filters again. And one thing I must stress, when you're using an ND filter, you are going to move into manual focus. So basically set your focus using the autofocus, using the screen in the back, just use your touch screen, and then change it to manual focus, and that will keep the focus exactly the same as you have set it in the autofocus. So I've changed for another composition. I'm using the bridge and the 2 falls, trying that shot again, trying some shots without using an ND filter and some shots with, alternating between portrait and landscape modes just to see what kind of shots I can get. Again, it's the variable ND filter I've chosen to use at this point because I think the 10-stop is just going to be too much. But you never know, I might give it a try and see what we can do. So that was a great day's photography at Castle Dene. I thought the FZ82 did particularly well, especially once I started to combine that with either the pig iron 10-stop filter or the X-Source variable ND filter. It seemed to work better for those types of shots. I was also using a Hoyer circular polarizer to take some of the glare off the water as well. So if you're wondering what tripod I was using this week, then it was this very cheap and cheerless Vivitar tripod I've had for years. Now there was a justified reason for using this over my ball head tripod, and that will be explained in a future video. So again, all of the filters, tripod, all the other bits and pieces I've used in this video have been really affordable stuff, and it just goes to prove that if you get the settings right on the camera, it doesn't matter what kind of gear you've got. It doesn't have to be the best quality, the most expensive camera, you can still get creative shots. So now I'm going to leave you with some more shots of the day, but first, as ever, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Again, it really helps the channel out an awful lot. And if you're not a subscriber, then why not subscribe? You get to see more videos, it's free, doesn't cost you a thing, and yeah, you'll get to know when I next upload another video. So from me, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.